Hi, Radical Readers. So today you are going to need your reader's notebook for quite a few activities. Let's start off by making sure we have our simile and metaphor sort printed out, and we should be good to go. We are going to talk about something that we're going to see this week in reading called figurative language, okay? And we're going to dig deep into two different figurative languages. When you describe something by comparing it to something else, that's what that fancy word figurative language is. All right, we're going to zoom into those two now. Oh, we got our little example. So you're a weasel would be an example of figurative language. What do you think you're a weasel means? So again, remember, it's when you're comparing it to something else. So I'm comparing you to a weasel. Not really. Are you a weasel an actual animal? No, it has a different meaning. So see if you can think about what you think. If I said, you little weasel, what would that mean? That doesn't mean you're a little animal. It means you're sneaky or a liar, okay? So you're a weasel means they might be sneaky or not telling the truth. So in figurative language, we use words in a very different way. As wise as an owl, he's on cloud 9. These are all examples. Have you ever heard anyone say this before? I can read you like a book. You're a firework. What a couch potato. As brave as a lion. Have you heard any of these figurative languages before? I'm sure we all have. Okay? So there are many types of figurative languages, but like I said, we're going to talk about two today. We're going to talk about similes and metaphors, okay? So an example of a simile is eat like a pig. And an example of a metaphor is you're an angel. We're comparing something else. We're comparing you to something else, right? But what's the difference between a simile and a metaphor? Well, let's start with similes. Similes compare two things using the words, this is really important, like or as. Sometimes they make sense, sometimes they can be tricky, okay? So the big thing we want to remember is that similes compare two things, but it has to include that like or as, okay? I've been working like a dog. As white as snow. Fight like cats and dogs. As light as a feather. Okay, those are all similes. So if you've been working like a dog, that means you've been working really hard. As white as snow makes sense. That's pretty easy to understand, right? Fight like cats and dogs. Well, think about that. Do cats and dogs normally get along? So it would mean you're fighting because you don't get along. As light as a feather, that one makes sense, right? Free as a bird. That one might be a little tricky, but think about a bird. A bird is free and has the choice to go wherever it wants. Okay, so similes have those important like or as. All right, so what about metaphors? We're going to spend 2 days on metaphors. So what's the difference? Well, Metaphors also compare two things by saying one thing is like another thing. Metaphors do not use like or as, okay? So think about that again. It still compares two things, but it's by saying one thing is like another, okay? And then it does not use like or as. So let's see if we can look up some examples. The cat is a shadow. It's comparing the cat to a shadow. What do we know about a shadow? It's dark, right? So the cat is like a dark shadow. My brother is a chicken. What are we comparing? Your brother to a chicken. Is your brother really a chicken that lays eggs? No. We know if your brother's a chicken, it means he's kind of scared, right? The highway was a parking lot. It's comparing the highway to the parking lot. And what do we know about a parking lot? Parking lot's filled with cars that stopped, right? So a highway that's a parking lot would have so many cars, maybe like a traffic jam, they're stopped. My teacher is a dragon. You better not say that about me. So what do we know about dragons? Are they nice? So this teacher would not be a very nice teacher. We'll compare a teacher to a dragon. Kind of like Phyllis. Would she be a dragon? Right? All right, let's play a quick game before we do a sort on our own. Here we go. So remember, similes compare two things using like or as. Metaphors compare two things, but by saying one thing is like the other. All right, here we go. All the world's a stage. Metaphor or simile? All right, let's see if you're right. That's a metaphor. It's comparing the stage to the world. It did not have like or as. All right, let's look at the next one. The test was as difficult as nailing jelly to a tree. Simile or metaphor? What do you think? All right. Simile. Did you get it right? Good. All right, let's do two more. The best friends are like two peas in a pod. What do you think? All right, here we go. Simile. How did you know? It has the word like. All right, one more. Ready? Ben's temper was a volcano. Simile or metaphor? All right, here we go. Did you get it right? It's comparing Ben's temper to the volcano, right? All right, so hopefully we have a better idea of metaphors and similes. What I need you to have now is I need you to have our sort and your reader's notebook, okay? So while you are getting that, you want to make sure you have your scissors and a glue stick too. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. That's not it. And I might not be able to share it. Let me try one more time. If not, I'm going to have to see you in a minute for a different video. All right. It looks like once you have those things, you'll need to click back onto the next video and I will have it all ready for us. All right. Scissors, glue stick, reader's notebook, and worksheet, and I will see you back in a few minutes.